Hey guys, Mrhappy here, and today I want to do a video about Haukke Manor. Now, Haukke Manor is a level 28 dungeon, part of the main storyline, so you'll have to do this one. I figured I already did most of the previous main story missions. I did Total Rock back in Beta Phase 3 when it was all just screenshots and I was just describing everything. So I figured I would do Haukke Manor next. This is really the first dungeon where they start trying to throw you loops with dodging stuff a little bit more, but still this dungeon overall isn't really that bad. So, while we're running to the first boss, there's really only two things that you have to keep in mind. One, there are manor maidservants wandering about the hallways, and they wander about independent of any of the other groups. So, your tanks, their job should be to pull them and separate them, kill them, and then move on to the regular trash packs, like the one that we're killing right here. The manor maidservants have one move called Dark Mist. If they do it and it hits people, it will hurt really bad. As you can see, though, it can be stunned by the tank. If you're a gladiator, simply use Shield Bash. If you're a warrior, I believe it's Brutal Swing is the move that you get. You're stunned on a 30-second timer. Should be able to kill them just in about the time it takes for the stun to wear off, so you should be a-okay with that. The only other mechanic that you need to worry about are tiny keys. Now, tiny keys are littered throughout the dungeon, and that was me remembering to turn my sound on. In fact, there's one right here, and they're used to open the doors throughout the rest of the manor. So as you can see, any locked doors that we ran by and didn't open, you can use tiny keys on those, and there's usually a few trash mobs in there, but there's also usually a treasure coffer. That first one that we just skipped right there usually has an accessory in it, but I would just recommend, if you're going for speed, you don't need to open any of those. If you are, stop, get all the tiny keys, and open all the little doors to try and get the most loot possible. So we're coming up to the first boss right here. We're just going to kill these last few ads, and then we're going to run into the first boss. Now, first boss really doesn't have anything too special. She's got two moves. Well, she's got a cleave that she hits in front of her, which you'll see as soon as we start the fight. We're just going to kill off this manor maidservant before we really go any further. There we go. So there we go, there's the first boss, and she's a lot like the manor maidservant. She's just another succubi. So she does have a frontal cleave move that will hurt anyone who's in front of her, so it's recommended that your DPS do not stand in front of her, or anyone for that matter. She also shoots Voidfire 2s or Voidfire 3s, don't remember which one, at random party members, as you can see right here. All you have to do is step out of them and step back into them, and you're fine. She also does Dark Mist, which you just saw right there. Tank can stun that. Anyone can stun that, really. So if you don't want to have to dodge it, just be ready to stun it. She'll do it one more time in the fight. But other than that, that's all you really need to worry about with this first boss. So she's free loot. Now, keep in mind that the door behind her, behind where the tank is, I should say, is going to be the door that opens when she dies. This is not the one that you want to go in. You actually want to double back the way you just came. So she's dead here. We're going to hit the treasure coffer, and there was a green key on the ground. I have to get the green key, run back to this ivy door, and instead of fighting those few extra mobs on the stairs, you can just jump down and deal with the skeletons right here. If any one member doesn't jump down, though, there's a chance that you will aggro those extra mobs and have 5 or 6 mobs on you. It's really easy to just jump down and kill them. So you'll have a carnation door right there that you can't open, and a few more manor maidservants. So as you can see, I'm going to go on my own agenda here and go get this treasure coffer. And it's really just the same as upstairs. It's just a different type of enemy. There's some manor maidservants looking around. There's a bunch of doors that you can open. And really the only door that matters is the very last one. We're going to run in here and get these tiny keys. We really didn't need both of them, but we figured pick them up. If you're wondering why I whipped my camera around a million times right there, it is because I was looking to see if there are any treasure chests, and it just looks funny when you speed it up. So there's another manor maidservant. We're going to take her out. Basically, what you need to do is you need to loop all the way around and get to the last room. I know it seems like a hassle just to go all the way around just to come back to the carnation door, but you really don't have a choice, so that's just what you're going to have to do. So, as you can see, just running, nothing big deal. There's really not much to talk about at these parts because we're skipping all the side doors. I mean, I opened this one because, again, I just want to get all the treasure because I'm greedy. So they're in here busy fighting. I run over and I grab the yellow key, which will be the door that you need to open, the carnation door. So the carnation door leads you to the second boss, and while I have some time, the second boss is actually 2 bosses. One on the right-hand side is an imp, and the left-hand side is a skeleton. What I recommend that you do is you have your tank pick both of them up and you burn down the imp as quick as possible. Keep in mind that the manor steward, which is the skeleton, will do a move that will drain life from anyone around him called life drain. After your tank has gained sufficient hate on the imp, I recommend that he switch over to the manor steward and be ready to stun life drain whenever it's available. Before he gets a second life drain off, or right around the same time, you should be able to get the first boss down. And the second boss has significantly less health than the first boss, or at least it feels that way. I mean, I think they have the same health actually, but I don't know, the second one just feels shorter, I guess because our tank and both of our DPS are on him. But as you can see, we never have to worry about life drain. We just kill him and bam, 2 more free pieces of loot. So now, at this part of the dungeon, instead of walking all the way back up the stairs, because you need to go all the way back to the entrance, and I realize this as I'm running away, all I have to do is use the return function in the bottom right. So as you can see, I'm going to return. This will send me back to the entrance, which is actually where the next part of the dungeon is. It's all the way back at the entrance. This is just the quickest way to get back there. So as you can see, our tank was already waiting for us because, you know, we all, you know, forgot. And I made sure to tell our party that that's what we were doing. So now you have to kill the, you don't even have to kill, you have to damage down this Manor Sentry right here. Once he gets down to 50% HP, he'll open the door to the final boss. If you would like some additional loot, you can go down that hallway to the left and there should be some treasure coffers down there. But again, that's really just up to you whether or not you want to just get the dungeon done or if you want to actually get the additional loot. So as you can see, the Manor Sentry just ran in. I was going to watch the whole cutscene and then I got impatient. I've actually never seen this cutscene before just because, I don't know, I skip all the cutscenes because I'm not a cool guy. So this boss has a few mechanics that you could deal with, but none of them are too punishing other than the one mechanic that I'm going to mention during the fight. So this boss also does not have a lot of HP, so our tank is going to run in, and I want you to keep a note of the 4 corners of the room. Now, the 4 corners of the room are going to become a thing at, I believe, 75% HP. When she shoots her hand up in the air, she's going to activate 4 lamps right here on all sides of the room. You can choose to not turn these off if you don't want to, but if you don't, they will keep pulsing for AoE damage on your entire group. So everybody ran around and got them on. I didn't realize that everybody already knew to do it, so I went around to do it, but I actually only ended up deactivating 1. So we just keep DPSing her down. You can stun her Dark Mists and her other moves if you want to. So now she's reactivated the lamps. However, this time there's a bomb, a candle that's following people around. So this candle focuses on targets that turn off lamps. So as you can see, the healer just turned off a lamp, so now I'm focusing on getting them off them. And then another lady's candle will appear when a bunch of ads appear at about 25% HP. So I solo down this bomb really quickly, not too big of a deal, and the tank picks up all the ads. I get rid of the Manor Sentry. Now, if you don't get rid of the Manor Sentry, I believe you can't damage the boss, I believe is how it works. But these 2 other ads you can completely ignore once you have the Manor Sentry down. So now that the Manor Sentry is down, we limit break the boss, and then we finish off really quickly, and the dungeon is done. So hopefully that was a really quick guide for Haukke Manor. It's probably one of my shortest dungeon guides ever, just because the dungeon itself is really, really short. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, favorite, subscribe, and share. Also, feel free to follow me on Facebook and Twitter if you have any requests for videos or questions about the game, anything at all. Obviously, I need a new mouse because I can't click straight. You know, I'm just, you know, I suck. But let me equip that new bow before I leave. All right, that's good. I'm just going to wave goodbye really quickly. Goodbye. All right, anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.